Okay, so I was originally going to make a video about feminism, but since I decided to focus on how many kids are missing each year in the US, I'ma put that video aside. Thanks for understanding. Child abduction is one of the heinous acts a human could ever do. Not only it will scar the life of the child, but it could leave them traumatized for the rest of their lives. I bet you must have seen an Amber Alert on either your phone or posters with the information of the child. In this video, I will explain everything about child abduction and tips of how you can prevent abduction from happening. Attorney General Eric H. Holder Jr. says that family abduction is the most prevalent form of child abduction in the United States. Regardless of the abductor's motive, it is an illegal act that has lasting consequences for the abducted child, the custodial parents, and the abducted family member, which states that family members of the child's family are known for abducting them. According to Jeb Slowikowski, acting administrator from Office at Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, the abduction of a child by another family member is one of the most devastating crises that a parent could ever encounter, which means that a child being abducted by another relative is very upsetting to the parent. Not only this could negatively affect the life of the child, but for the parent as well. Each year, more than 200,000 children become victims of family abduction, taken from family, home, and friends by a parent or other family member. They are thrust into a life of uncertainty and isolation. Lori O. Robinson adds, which states that kids who are abducted by either the parents or other relative are isolated from the rest of the world. Andrea J. Sidlak talks about the types of abduction that kids experience, such as non-family abduction, stereotypical abduction, family abduction, the most common one. Here are the most common types of kidnapping. Non-family or stranger abduction. A type of abduction when a non-family perpetrator takes a child by the use of physical force or threat of bodily harm towards a child. Family abduction. A type of abduction when in violation of custody or a decree or other legitimate custodial rights, a member of the child's family or someone acting on behalf of a family member takes or fails to return the child. Well, what these two have in common is that it shows how the child is abducted, while the difference is the person who kidnaps the child. Although it is way more rare to a stranger to kidnap the child, because most of these cases are involved with kids being abducted by someone they know, when it is a parent or an acquaintance. John J. Wilson, acting administrator from Juvenile Justice Bulletin, states that the disappearance of a child is a traumatic event that demands immediate attention from the entire community, which states that the whole community must help find the missing child ASAP. However, kids don't just go missing. I'll talk more about this in my next video called Conspiracy Theories. I'll talk about this, as well as talking about famous people being accused of being involved in human trafficking, etc. That'll be also be included in the conspiracy theories video. Okay, let's get back to the topic. Most of the time, a child will go missing, but how? Well, here are ways kids disappear without you even knowing, such as non-family abduction as stated before, custodial interference, children who fail to return home, or runaways. This won't surprise you, but nearly 1.3 million kids are reported missing, said Jeff Slowikowski. So, since I'm already done explaining of how kids are abducted and why, I'll be explaining and giving out tips of how you can prevent your child from getting abducted if you are a parent. Parents are recommended to give key information about their kids such as height, weight, eye color, and a clear recent photo. It's more better to make sure custody documents are in order, have ID-like photos of them each 6 months, although police departments provide fingerprint programs. Keep your kids' medical and dental records up to date. Make online safety a priority. Set boundaries when your kids go out. Never leave your kids alone in the car, stroller, not even a minute or two because there is a high chance. Choose your caregivers wisely. Well, for kids. Because, these people can get involved, and the best thing is check their background. And never put them close to have their name because kids are known for trusting adults who know them very well. And it's also very important for you to talk to your child about strangers. Teach them to never accept candy from them. Run away if someone either follows them or is forcing them to get into the car. Say no when they are told to do stuff they're not supposed to. Tell a parent or another trusted adult about these kinds of things. And ask permission if they want to leave the home or play in the yard, etc. Although, even if it's very important to talk to your child about strangers, you need to keep other things in mind, such as having them to know their name at a very young age. If in case they're lost, you need to teach them to tell their name to a police or etc. so they can help them find you. Never and ever leave your kids home alone if they're not old enough. If they're so, then teach them to never open the door to anyone or tell them that they're home alone. This is extremely dangerous though. Point out which homes they can or they cannot get in, such as a neighbor's home or a friend's home. These are the ones that they are recommended to. But if a stranger makes them get in their home, let them know that they should never get in a house that they do not even know. Same when it comes to getting into a car. Instruct them which cars they can and they cannot ride. This is very important because not only that this had helped them prevent abductions, but this is also recommended. So they can know which ones they can and they cannot. And another thing to keep in mind is that you should develop a code for them. Like for example, if your kid is outside, but then a stranger asks them about, seeing a dog or helping them something, you should give them a code. Like your kid could say stuff like, I'm waiting for my parents, or I cannot, sorry. I don't know if this is the right one, but it's best importantly to teach them a code. Same with their caregivers. Like if you're leaving them with them or you have to go somewhere and you're not be able to, watch over them. Here are some of my tips. Although I am just an aunt of my nephew and niece, and I have others too, I recommend you especially to chaperone your kids, especially when it comes to field trips. This is just an advice. Although, and yes, I do have relatives who are kids, but I hope that you had a good time watching this video, since I decided to make this one because I couldn't find many information that talks about feminism, but I might try to do it in the future though. Although I'm about to end this video in like a minute or two, I decided to give a shout out to 3 mothers. These are amazing ones such as Jacqueline Leah, the Corrine Tatum, and Ellie. I'd rather just call her Ellie because for me, she's like a mom. Even though she has kids too, she used to be my teacher in 5th grade. And these are the mothers I decided to give a shout out. Let me know if you're a mother and tell me your thoughts about this video. And I hope you like this, and I'll be talking about conspiracy theories in my next upcoming video. I'll provide information that it has to do with both right and left wing. Not only that Democrats are known for making up conspiracy theories, but even the right as well. I'll be especially explaining about celebrities, being accused of getting involved into, human trafficking and child abuse. I'll talk more about that in my video, as I stated in a few minutes ago. So once again, thank you for watching this video. I hope you had a good time finding the good information, and see you next time. Bye!